If you look at the past 10 years in Saudi Arabia, you would see that there is a big step taken in regards to women's right. If you look at the 10 years individually, each year by itself, it would look like baby steps. But if you have an overview over the whole of the 10 years, you'd actually notice that a lot have been happening. One of the most important highlights is that last year, females are actually now participating in the Shura Council, which is basically a council that represents the voice of the people, their needs, their demands, what do they want, what are they concerned about, what are they happy with and what are they not, etc. And since this council existed, it was only composed of male participants or males in general. But a year ago, females were also introduced to this council. They became a big part of it. 50% of the council, almost 50% of the council is now females. So I think that for women to actually step in as a first step, that's really good. Marks a very important point in women's rights in Saudi Arabia. On another note, if you notice, there is the ratio of women being participating in the private sector, holding very high positions, is growing on a very high annual rate growth. I don't recall the exact number, but it was a very high percentage. So yeah, I guess those are the two main highlights about women's rights in Saudi and how it's developing. Okay, this is a very confusing question because actually I was recently still working on a project that basically is concerned about women and females in Saudi Arabia choosing role models to give TED Talks to the Saudi youth. And I can just tell you it's a treasure. There are plenty of those. You can look at women in the UNCGR. You can look at women in the business sector. You can look at women at the banking sector. You can. It's just a lot. Choosing one would not be doing anyone justice. There are a lot. The most controversial topic that's been going on since I was born, as far as I can remember, is women's driving, basically. It's a very controversial topic in the country. Some of the females themselves in Saudi Arabia say that, no, we don't want to drive. And they actually give reasons to why do they not want to drive. Some people say that it's a society's problem. Some people say that it's a political problem. There are all kinds of conspiracy theories out there. Just for the simple, one would think it's a very simple matter. It's just women's driving. It's happening all over the world. Why can't it happen in Saudi? But I think it will happen. It's bound to happen because the way the world is connected and interdependent nowadays. It's, to me, in my opinion, it's just bound to happen. Would it be a cliche if I said my mother? I really think she is my role model because she was one of the first females who joined the banking sector and managed to reach a very high level in it. Despite all of the comments and the society's boundaries, she was one of the first females to be a bank manager in the kingdom. So that was something huge. And then she decided by herself to quit her job, stay home and raise her kids. So I really respect that in my mother, that she had her she felt the taste of success. She worked really hard for it, but then she was not obligated by she was not forced by anyone. She was judged, yes, but she made her own decision to leave her job and to leave her career and her success and all of that to stay at home. And I really like to coach her on this. I always ask her, don't you feel bad? You are actually the first female to be a regional manager in Saudi. So she said, I left my success to see a bigger success in 3 girls. So yeah, she's my hero. She's my idol. I think women will be more heavily involved in the political aspect, the legislative council. They would be also, they will continue, not start, they will continue to hold very high positions within the private sector and the governmental sector, hopefully. I also think that, again, the cliche subject, driving, they will be able to drive. And I think one of the most crucial issues that the kingdom is looking at now is divorced females, because in Islam you usually need Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country and rules by the Quran, which is our holy book. This is our constitution. Our holy book is our constitution. And in Quran, you would need to have a guardian to represent you in all of the governmental authorities. And you would also, your kids would also need this guardian to protect them and to basically spend on them. But unfortunately, the way it's implemented is not 100% in favor of divorced women, where you would see a lot of them suffering to spend on their kids, because by Sharia law their father is still bound to spend on the kids, but the percentage, the amount the mother would receive if she goes to the court and the judge says, okay, the dad needs to spend on his kids because this is only their right. The amount they get is really it's not significant at all. So I think that this is one of the main issues Saudi is looking to improve. Divorced women, their situation in the country, their kids' situation, their rights, for them to know what their rights are to begin with, because a lot of divorced ladies do not know what are their rights, to teach them actually how to go and ask for their rights, and how to ask for their kids' right as well. But honestly, I want to be a role model. I'm not conceited or anything, but I think if I work hard for it, why not? I would love to be. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'll succeed. I don't know what's the percentage of me succeeding in doing that, but I would want to be a role model of a strong Saudi girl who works and builds up herself and her work reputation and be independent. Not independent in a way that I don't want my family to be involved in any issues of my life or any of my decisions. Not that at all. It's just feeling my financial independence, that I wouldn't need anything from anyone. Not that I'm suffering of any at the moment. It's not that my family would say, oh, you're working, we don't need to give you anything. No, they're more than generous with me throughout my university until I started working. So, but I want to reach that point where I say to my dad, thank you, Baba, but I have enough and I will provide now for myself and I will give you. It's time for me to give back to my parents. So yeah, that's what I really want to do.